right. Good morning, Flagler County. This is Danielle Anderson, your host of Lifeline, the radio show connecting you to positivity in our community. And we brought positivity to the house this morning. Good morning, Pam. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great.
You're always great. And we brought somebody else special in the show who's joining us remotely. Good morning, Brock.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
We're great. Thanks for joining us. I know you guys have a very busy day, and so I really do appreciate you coming in to talk about like all the amazing things that you're doing with your organization. So, Pam, if you want to kickstart it, tell people who you are.
So I'm Pam Bertolo. I am the executive director of both Flagler Oars and Discover Recover. One's in Flagler County and one's in St. Johns County. And today what we wanted to do was tell you a little bit about some of the amazing accomplishments of our staff. We want to start with that. And then we're going to move into a few other things, including this year's fundraiser.
I love it. That's what we're all about here, is getting the word out about good things going on.
Right.
So, Pam, can you tell people what is Flagler Oars? Because some people really are new to the community and haven't heard about it.
Flagler Oars is Flagler Open Arms Recovery Services. And what we do is three main things. We have peers who actually work with people and families with substance use disorder. We have an entire outreach program, and Brock may give you some details on that, but it's pretty amazing. And then we also do advocacy. And finally, we do public education. I'm always looking for places to come talk about Narcan and come talk about our work, because I think that in order for people to truly recover, they need to be in a recovery-friendly community. And slowly but surely, we're getting there.
Flagler has really changed since you've been out there working with people.
That
It's
is true.
amazing.
That is true. It's amazing.
So how did Flagler Oars get started?
So there were 3 or 4 people who were very community minded. I was not there. And so Michael Feldbauer, Kim Carney, a couple other people got a little bitty grant to put together I don't know what to call it, a summit where people could come and talk about what they wanted from a recovery community organization. We were the 12th recovery community organization in the state. Now there's 30.
Wow.
Yeah. And so another person who was very responsible, because she put together the whole program for the summit, it was Jenny LaRue. And Jenny put together programs for 3 or 4 summits. So I happened to be in the audience, and I said, oh, this is something I could buy into. So I wound up by default as the first president of the board, and we had no money. We were totally volunteers, and then the state decided to give us enough money that we could hire one person, and the rest is history.
So it's kind of like they give you a little line. Let's see how you do, and then it just
Boom. Yeah.
But it's been amazing, like how quickly you guys have been able to really get the community on board with what you're doing.
Well, we have about 40 hours a day of outreach out there. So our people are out in the community in force. We call them events, but basically they're standing behind a table in front of a business. And we're always interested, if you want to have that in front of your business, we still have space.
So it would be something like maybe a business is on a lunch break and they're doing a team building exercise, and you guys come in
No.
about it?
No. So it's a business that gets walk-ins.
Okay.
So we're out front and we talk to people on the sidewalks.
Oh, so it's not training the employees. It's like talking.
It's like talking to the public.
That's awesome.
Yes.
But to that point there, we also do train employees too. So there's a lot of organizations that we work with that have us come in, let's say maybe on their lunch break, maybe after hours, where they have all their staff present, and we train them on how to use Narcan. What is Narcan? Why is it important that it's out in our community everywhere? So yes and no, to answer your question there. And I just kind of jumped in. So
Please,
no, thanks, Brock.
Yeah. Because somebody listening may have the same question I have. Oh, would it be something that would be great for our employees to learn how to do? But you're thinking, hey, we want to educate the community, just the general public. But it serves both purposes.
So my favorite is to go into churches and businesses that never thought about substance use disorder and do an entire training on Narcan, dispel all the myths, and people love it, and we love doing it.
I remember the first time I saw you was at the Bold Ladies event, and I think it was at the Brass Tap. And I had never, these are all like affluent women who, live a certain kind of lifestyle. And you told it, and like, I don't think you had enough to give everybody some, because everybody was like, I want to have some Narcan in my home.
So the first time I did it with the Bold Ladies, and I am now a Bold Lady myself, first time I did it, when I went to hand out Narcan, everybody was, no, I don't need that. I don't want that. So it's awesome to see the difference, because people understand it's not for them. It's to put in your car. It's to put in your home. It's to make sure that if you run into somebody who's splayed out on the floor of the restroom in Buc-ee's, you just give them Narcan. It doesn't matter if they had a heart attack. It doesn't matter if they had a stroke. It doesn't matter what it was. You just immediately give them Narcan while you're calling 911, because you can't hurt anyone with Narcan.
Well, the most interesting thing that I heard you say, and I'd never considered it, was the senior population taking too much medication because they'd forgotten they'd already taken their medication for the day. And I was like, who would think of something like that?
Right. I think that's an important point, too. As a matter of fact, one of the demographics that's growing rapidly as far as overdoses are concerned are people over 65.
And then it's important for their loved ones to have Narcan, right?
It is. It's very important. And we give it away. You don't buy it at the pharmacy. You can come get it from us for free. And the other thing about Narcan that I think is really interesting, there was recent research, and that research shows that Narcan is good for at least 30 years after its expiration date.
Oh my gosh. So you think, it's expired because you had it for a year or two. You hold on to it.
You definitely do.
So we know it's surviving the zombie apocalypse, Narcan.
It will.
Twinkies and Narcan.
Right? That works. So Brock, how did you kind of get into all of this?
So, I started with Flagler Oars approximately about 2 years ago. And at that stage of Flagler Oars, that's when they were expanding to the St. John's area. So it was really cool what I was able to witness happen here is, I was able to watch this office space that we have in St. John's be built out. We've got private rooms for our participants. And then just the amount of work that we've been able to accomplish since approximately March of last year. That's when we had our grand opening. That doesn't mean that's when we started working, but yeah, it's some really awesome stuff. And Pam was talking a little bit about, what our staff has been able to accomplish as well. So some really cool things, and I'm just going to go based off of last month. So this was June of 2025.
Yeah, stress that, Brock. It's 1 month that he's going to talk
Right.
about. 1 month only.
Just in the matter of, approximately 30 days, this is what our staff has accomplished. They were able to service 391 individuals, receive some type of recovery service from us. So that's awesome. In addition to that, they were able to distribute 5,496 doses of Narcan to both Flagler County and St. Johns County.
That's
and
incredible.
that's pretty massive. And Narcan for those individuals, I know we've mentioned it a few times here, but it's one of the only ways to reverse an opioid overdose, right? So how we view it is that's 5,496 potentially saved lives, right? And what Pam mentioned, it doesn't discriminate, right? It could be our grandmas and our grandpas who forgot that they took their medication. It could be anybody, any age range. It's an interesting world that we live in, and I truly believe the more Narcan that we can get out in our community, the better off that we're going to be.
How did you guys know that St. Johns County was the right place, the right direction to expand?
That's a great question. Yeah, so St. Johns County, when we moved here, didn't have an RCO. So it was one of the few counties in the state that didn't already have a recovery community organization. So and it was really convenient for us as well because, our office is in Flagler County and it's not too far away to service St. Johns County as well.
Wow. I mean, and it's St. Johns County is a huge area to service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, between the two offices, both counties, we're in the community of just under about 90 events per month. So last month,
Wow.
to give you exact numbers, we either hosted or coordinated or attended a total of 86 events.
In a single month?
Yeah, that's just 1 month. Yeah, in addition to that, we facilitated over 20 recovery groups, too, in that 1 month alone. So we're able to do some really amazing work. And again, it's really due to our staff. They go above and beyond, and they really do some awesome work.
How many staff members do you have? I mean, is it like in the hundreds or?
No, there's two answers to that question. So, Brock.
And when they opened up years ago, when they finally got money, they were able to hire one staff member. So now we are approximately about 15, and that includes our contractors as well. So we have contractors that go out into our community and they do some of the booth work as well, in addition to our full-time staff. So there's approximately about 15 of us.
I have to give you kudos because I'm gonna tell you, I do a lot of events. I don't think I could do 86 events in 1 month. For you guys to stay organized and be able to manage that, that's tremendous.
Technology. Thank goodness for technology. I don't know.
But just to have the manpower to show up for those kind of events, I mean, that's a lot of people hours.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is the way we work with the contractors. So we have an app, doesn't everyone? And the app allows people to sign up for when they want to work. So we don't tell them when to work. So we have it set up where they can sign up for as much or as little as they want to do over the course of a week.
And they stay enthusiastic because they're choosing their schedule.
Exactly.
That is awesome. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to talk about some more stuff that's going on with ORS and Discover Recover St. John's. We'll be right back. All right, you doing okay out there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Still here.
All right, ready, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, so we are back here with Flagler Oars, and these people are really truly providing a lifeline for the community, for people of all ages. So, Pam, what are the kinds of things? I know you said a moment ago Brock had taken a phone call for a peer. What does that mean? What's a peer to Flagler Oars?
It's a participant, a potential participant. So we have 2 peer lines that ring when people are wanting services, when people are in distress. It could be anything. Now, we are not a crisis organization, but so that phone rings frequently, and we might provide information and referral to what they say they want. We might invite them to come in and speak with a peer.
And how do you find peers? Because I know peers, aren't they generally people who have been successful in recovery for themselves?
Yes. So we build peers. So we have people who come to us who have been successful in recovery, and then we put them through strenuous training and help them get certified. We pay for their school and their certification.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you know, what's the rate of people saying, I want to be a peer and being successful and being able to stay in recovery because they've been, do you see a lot of that, or do you see?
Yeah, it's not as high as I would like it to be because people have a romantic vision of peer work until they actually do it. It's hard work. Plus, the school, the training they have to go through is strenuous. It's not phony baloney. It's real stuff. And then they have to take a state test.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's major. And so right now, if anyone who is working directly with a participant is certified.
That's amazing. And that's in Flagler and St. Johns County.
Yes.
So do you switch staff back, but do you share staff between the two
We
counties?
share. They go back and forth depending on the day.
That's really cool.
Right.
So I know a lot.
And we're save taxpayer monies because we don't have two RCOs with two administrations.
So it's one serving both counties.
Right.
So is there a need? Do you guys have enough money to support everything you're doing?
No.
What if you had a wish list? What would that look like for you?
I would like to see our budget doubled. It's that simple.
What would you do with that money?
Get more peers.
Yeah.
Provide more training. Peers and education. What would you do, Brock?
No, that's it. I'd go directly with peers. If we had double our funding, that means essentially we could double our staff. And if we double our staff, we can double the amount of people that we can help. So if you think these numbers are impressive, just imagine what double those numbers are, right? So, yeah, that's my wish list.
So are you guys kind of centrally located in St. John's, or are you kind of on the south or the north
Yeah.
side?
So we're right off US 1,
Mm-hmm.
North Winn-Dixie Shopping Plaza, and if you are a local to St. Augustine, we're right across the street from Schooners. You can't miss it.
So is that are you near the 312 bridge?
So we are closer to the St. John's Sheriff's Office, the
Oh,
Health and Human Services building there. Again, right off US 1, north side. It's called the North Winn-Dixie Shopping Plaza.
okay. So you're over there by the airport.
Correct. Yeah, just south of the airport.
Wow, that is kind of in the middle. So, I mean, could you ever envision little satellite offices where there would be, something closer towards Jacksonville, and then maybe something closer to the south end as well?
We'd like to have a satellite in the west area.
Yeah.
So
West St.
Is that where their need is great, or just
Yeah. There's in West St. Augustine, what we find a lot of is a lack of transportation and a lack of available resources. So we would love to throw up a satellite office in West St. Augustine.
wow? So, if anybody from the legislature is listening, they could use a little more money, right?
exactly.
Couldn't everybody? So, is there anything else that you guys would need as far as your organization and keeping it strong? Some organizations struggle with sustainability, succession. When your board kind of trying to transitions out, you need new people to come in. Are you looking for new volunteers?
No, our volunteers. What we use are the volunteers who are getting community service, because our volunteers can't go near the work itself. So the volunteers are housekeepers for us. And we have a couple of really great volunteers. So we're not looking for volunteers. We are always looking for more 1099 contractors.
And what can they do to help? How can they help you guys out?
Well, assuming they can pass the level 2 background and that we think they're right for the job, they're the ones out manning the booths.
Helping with the outreach.
They are street outreach.
That's so important because they're really the face of the people that welcome and get those people to come in and say, I want some help, or can you help me?
Right.
So I know that's amazing. Have you guys done any outreach this year, like big festivals or events?
Every month.
Yeah, so we're kind of a little bit of everywhere. Farmers, everything from farmers markets to coffee shops to food pantries to churches. I mean, really, you name it. Now, as far as our really big events, we typically have one or two really large events per month, and those would look like maybe a big festival, or it could look like something out in Princess Place, or a larger events like that. But a really cool outreach event that we were able to do last year with our outreach vehicle. So we've got this really awesome RV that's branded. It's got Flagler oars all over,
Wow.
all over our Save a Life. We were actually able to do disaster relief. So we went from our office in Flagler all the way down to Sarasota when Sarasota got hit really bad with that hurricane last year. And we were able to stop off at almost every single Oxford house, which is a sober living house, and other sober living houses along the way. And we were able to, thousands of pounds of water we dropped off, hygiene products, toiletries, baby items like formula and diapers. I mean, you name it. So it was really cool to be able to do that.
Wait, you left out the part where you guys actually got out and helped people.
Oh yeah, we were chainsawing down trees. We were helping people clear out their houses. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it was really rough, right? So these individuals that we helped, I mean, they lost everything, right? The 11 feet of water in their house, right? So everything from their carpet to their ceiling fan had to be removed. And so we were able to go down there and put in a few days' work and help out where we could. And it was really awesome. But, you know, we were only able to do that through donations from our community. So when you're talking about wish list items, when we're talking about what we would do with extra money, that's just one example of hundreds of just kind of like out of the box things that we like to do when we're able to do so.
That really makes me happy to hear you guys say you did that. That's incredible.
Isn't it?
I just started working with Flagler Volunteer Services on the recovery stuff, and
Right.
I had no idea how intense it really is. You know, you see it on the news and you think it's one thing, but then you start to like really get into it. And just like you guys, I mean, you're seeing it firsthand like that. You really know the need.
Since Brock just mentioned, you know, the wish list for unrestricted funds, why don't you talk about our fundraiser this year, Brock?
Oh, absolutely. So this year, first, we always do a recovery event in September. That's National Recovery Month. So this year, what we're going to do is we're actually hosting a disc golf tournament. So that's going to be taking place at Moccasin Disc Golf Course. That's in Elkton, so in St. John's, West St. Augustine. And it's going to be on September 20th. And, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got some really cool stuff going on, some amazing prizes. I mean, we're going to be even doing cash payouts for the top people who win the tournament. And then what's also really cool is that we're sponsoring individuals in recovery. So, you know, if somebody in recovery comes to us and they say, hey, listen, we'd love to play, we're actually covering that cost for them, or one of our sponsors is covering the cost for them. So really cool stuff. We expect, you know, anywhere from 50 to 75 people to be out there. And it's going to be a half-day event starting at around 9, ending at around 1 or 2. We're going to be having free food, free drinks, all sorts of really cool stuff. So we'll be sending out some flyers, posting up all over our social media. But if anybody ever has any questions, they can always reach out to us on our direct lines, too.
So we're also showing the flyer as you speak right here on our Facebook Live page on WNZF. So people can go take a look. How can they find you guys or make a donation if they want to get involved with the event?
Yeah. So there is a sponsorship tier flyer as well. I'm not sure if you've got your hands on that one.
I certainly
But,
do.
Perfect. Yeah, all they need to do is scan that QR code, or they can go to our website, flagleroars.org, and click the donate button, and then just choose the amount. So there's 3 different sponsorship tiers, and just choose the appropriate amount, and then we'll take it from there. We'll reach out to the donor. We'll gather all the required information for all of the great advertising that we're doing, and yeah, we'll just run with the ball.
We'll do that part too. So I just love how organized you guys are. Especially, it blows my mind. Like 86 events in 1 month. I'm just hung up on it. But yeah, we'll definitely send people over to there. And if everybody wants to take a look, we're going to have Flagler Oars as a part 2 for next week's Lifeline show. So stay tuned. You guys can keep hanging out with us, and make sure you tune in next week for that. So Brock, stay right where you are. And we want to thank Flagler News Weekly, WNZF News Radio, the Vigilante Philanthropists, Massage by Natalie and Company, and also our local Benjamin Moore Paint Store for sponsoring our show. And we will catch you guys in next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Okay, so stay there, and we're going to go ahead and do a little more talking, if that's okay.
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, cool. Are you ready? All right. So good morning, Flagler County. This is Danielle Anderson, your host of Lifeline, the radio show connecting you to positivity in our community. And yes, I'm still wearing the same clothes from last week. If you are on our WNZF News Radio Facebook page. I'm going to take a quick little vacation to pop up and see my dad and make sure he's doing okay. But, we're really excited to continue the conversation with Flagler Oars. I mean, they're doing some amazing work in the community. Last week we kind of topped it off talking about this really exciting disc golf tournament that they've got coming up. What date is that, Brock?
September 20th.
September 20th. That's perfect because that's the International Coastal Cleanup Day, too. So, folks really want to get and give. They can get out there, do a little beach cleanup, and then come have some fun with you guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that. So, we talked before about the really interesting programs that you guys are doing in St. Johns County, and they're a little different than what's going on in Flagler. So are you still doing those kinds of things?
Yeah, as far as our weekly groups go, yeah, we've got some really great groups in both of our counties.
So talk a
I'll
little about those, yeah.
Yeah, so start of the week on Sunday. Every Sunday we run a Peaceful Pause group, and that one's located in our Flagler office there in Bunnell. And there we'll do chakra development. We'll do sound baths, maybe drum circles, more about those healing properties of sound and vibrations and meditation. It's really awesome stuff. Then every Tuesday, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now, is there a fee to go to do this? Because sometimes those sound baths can be very expensive.
No.
That's a great. No, we don't mess with money at all. Everything that we offer is absolutely free.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome stuff, right? So moving on, so that's our Sunday group. And then Tuesdays, every Tuesday we have Recovery Dharma, which is a Buddhist-inspired recovery group. That's located in both the Flagler office as well as just the Flagler office on Tuesdays. And then in addition to that, we also have a Chains for Change group on Tuesdays. And that is held at Moccasin Creek Disc Golf Course. And, we're out there every Tuesday at 3:30, and it's a sober event where we focus on maintaining our health and our sobriety. Moving on, Wednesday, we've got Credit and Financial Literacy. That's in our Discover and Recover office in St. John's.
Nice.
That's every Wednesday, 5 o'clock. And people can come in person or they can join online. So that's a hybrid meeting there.
So is that open to because, the big push is to get younger people to kind of understand financial literacy. Could that be open to them as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's open to everyone. All of our groups are open to everybody, not just individuals in recovery.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then, so moving on, so Wednesday was Credit and Financial Literacy. Then Thursday, we do another Recovery Dharma, and that one is actually held in both of our offices at 5 p.m. So wherever you are, if you're in Flagler County or in St. Johns County, you can always join us for Recovery Dharma, and you can even join online for that one, too. And then last but not least, every Saturday, we do a sober social, which is called Meet You There. And we might play board games, card games. We might watch some movies. We might play some video games. And that's every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
That is really cool. As an adult, you don't feel like you have these connections and things that you used to do when you were younger. And this is like a lot of really cool stuff and connecting the community together.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you guys come up with this? Who are they led by?
So our groups are facilitated by individuals who love these things. So all of our groups here are facilitated by our staff members. So it really depends. What we typically like to talk to staff about is like, hey, what do you love doing? Would you be interested in finding out some way to turn that into an evidence-based recovery group? And then, and they love to facilitate the groups, and it's amazing, and our community really loves them as well.
So do you find that it's the same people that come like every week and they start to build relationships with others, or is it a lot of drop-ins?
It's both, honestly. It might be somebody visiting for the first time in Flagler or St. Johns County that wants to go to a Recovery Dharma. It could be somebody who's come to every Recovery Dharma that we've held for the past 6 months. Or it could just be somebody who's dipping their toes into recovery, right? And they just want to see what a recovery community looks like. And they might come into a group and kind of feel it out, see if they like it or not. And we love all of those things.
So how do you get people to come in? You know, because a lot of times there's anxiety, there's apprehension, there's a feeling of judgment, of getting somebody to feel comfortable to walk through the door that first time.
So our peers have been there, done that, got the T-shirt, cut the sleeves off. So those are the people who help make other people comfortable. And the peers are out in all of these booths all week, and they meet people. And so, you know, people come and people go, but we work hard to have a very welcoming atmosphere when they walk in, especially the first time.
Yeah, you know, because that first time, even if it's going to church or going, you know, to the classroom, that first day is always just so
Jittery.
exactly.
Yep. Yep.
Nerve wracking. So that's really cool, especially this fun stuff. That would be something that I could see being like a really great icebreaker.
Right. It is. That's the idea.
That is super cool. So, like, we were talking earlier about fundraisers, and you guys had this amazing event that was out at the Ag Museum, and you brought in this singer, and she was just, I'd never heard of her, but
Mary Gaucher.
her music was so powerful.
Yeah.
How did you guys come up with the idea for that?
So that was our fourth music festival, and it was a dream of mine to have Mary Gaucher there. And we had like about 6 or 7 other musical groups, and so anyway, we just came up with it and did it. We
And-
just do stuff.
I see that. You just do. Did you just reach out to her and she said, yeah, I'd love to be there?
Yes, she's in recovery.
Right. I got that from her. And her songs were so like, they were so powerful and so heartfelt that it was like, how can I've never heard of her before?
Well, you just got to get out more.
I guess so.
I'm just teasing.
Do you guys, are you doing that again this year, or is this going to take the place of that?
The second chance tournament will take the place of that.
Of the music festivals?
Yes.
Do you envision bringing the music festival back ever?
Perhaps. It all depends on what everybody in the organization wants to do.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it's good to switch things up because it keeps it fresh and exciting.
Right.
Any other big things that are on the
Yes,
horizon?
yes.
Uh-oh. I knew it.
So everybody knows that we distribute Narcan. What we're doing now is distributing Narcan kiosk containers. So these are totally free, and you can get a variety of sizes, everything from what we call the Barneys, which are the purple, you've seen them, they're very similar to what you see newspapers in.
Okay.
And they're big and purple, to containers you can hang on the walls. We have containers that you could hang by the beach. They are totally weatherproof. So we have many, many, many of these, and we will bring them to you. We will stock them, we will install them, and then we will keep an eye on them.
Now, how much do these cost?
Nothing. They're free to you. They're free to the community.
Wow. So, I mean, this is like a nice variety of products. How did you end up with this?
So it's interesting. The state reached out to us, but what's more interesting than that is the gentleman who designed those, fabricated them, is the same guy who comes around and delivers them. He's out of Illinois. So I just saw him today, as a matter of fact, and now he has another driver, so he has 2 routes in Florida. And I said, how many of these did you distribute this year so far? And he said, he kind of rolled his eyes because he doesn't, I don't know how well he tracks it, but he said about 2,000.
That is awesome.
So please get in touch with us if you want one of these. We'll be reaching out. We've distributed about a half a dozen of them so far, and we've put them in a variety of places.
Can you tell us a couple places they might go check one out?
I'm trying to think. The one that we put in that made me laugh was so far out in the country that I can't imagine people checking it out there. And then, so Lauren Ramirez, who runs Solus.
The school board
Yes.
member. Yeah.
She has a big one, and there's 3 or 4 others. And we just got another request today, so they're going out pretty quickly.
And so is it like you have to put a quarter in and then it opens the door and you get something out?
No, the door's just open.
And it's like a little library.
Almost, yes. It's more like a big shop.
And it just has Narcan in there for free.
Right. And there's a great big one where people can put other types of things like hygiene products if they wanted to in it.
Oh, that's really cool too. Because I
Yeah.
noticed it's like like a 3-story.
Yeah, that's the one with the hygiene products.
That is a really great idea.
We
So,
think so. We think it'd be great to get hundreds of these out in the community.
well, I could
Oh
envision
yeah.
them at every convenience store having one, like a
Right.
Red Box.
Right. That's our dream.
And they're completely free.
That
We
is,
stock them, paint them. So
and you guys
completely.
now, if somebody wants to put like hygiene products and things like that, would that be kind of on them to maintain that part
Yeah,
of it?
we provide the Narcan, we provide the container.
That is really cool. Yeah, and this thing, it looks like it's there's 21 inches, there's 18 inches. Yeah, so there's like big ones and little ones.
Right.
So it could be discreet or it could be.
Right.
That's great. Have you talked to like the grocery stores? Have they been receptive?
As a matter of fact, Harris Grocery Store is going to put one in.
Are they? Good for
Mhm.
them. They're so like right on everything.
Right.
That's good. That's great. So Brock, have you guys been able to put any of these in St. Johns County yet?
So we're working on installations currently. So I imagine 2 weeks from today we'll be pretty close to being out.
All right. Out like of done like all the ones that you had available?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we can always try to order more, but yeah. So when they're done, they're kind of done. So we're really looking for organizations who want to, be recovery friendly, who want to have that Narcan out there, and they don't even have to lift a finger. Right? We'll take care of everything.
Oh, wonderful.
I just ordered 22 more. Give you an idea.
Of the purple boxes?
Mm-hmm.
What size did you?
A variety of
typical-
sizes.
Different ones?
Right. The gentleman who delivers them, I let him pick.
What does he have on hand? Bring him on over.
Right.
That's great. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back with Flagler Oars and Discover Recover St. John's. We'll be right back. All right. Any other good stuff coming up on your calendar? Nothing? Okay. All right. We're back with Flagler Oars. And, Brock, I think it's really amazing when we talk about the young people that are getting involved and want to be a part of this. Do any of the people who kind of graduate out, do they come back and thank you guys?
It's a great question. So when somebody leaves our services, right, and they've completed services, they've been successful, we get it all the time. But in addition to that, if somebody does really well we typically like to turn them into an employee as well. Now, only if that's what they want to do.
Right.
But yeah, we think that's a really positive, that's a positive win that they can share, and potentially, help even more people down the road.
And we also get a lot of thank yous from family members.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really heartwarming to know, because you struggle as a parent for so long, worried about your child who may or may not make it.
Right.
So what's that like for you when you get a letter or a thank you from a parent?
Exactly what you just verbalized. Your heart gets all warm and fuzzy.
Does it make you feel like the hours are worth it? The things you put into it are worth it?
Yeah, sure it does. But even without that, I think we both think that the hours are worth it. The work is worth it, or we wouldn't be
Even
doing it.
Yeah, but it is nice to share those in staff meetings every Monday. So they're a great thing to share with everybody.
That's really cool. Like, we're seeing. Are you seeing a downward trend in drug abuse and things like that, or is it still
We're
kinda
seeing
the
a
same?
downward trend in deaths. Okay, in drug overdose deaths. We are not seeing a downward trend in drug usage.
What do you
And
think
overdose.
What do you think that is?
Right.
Well, I think that I'm not supposed to say this, so listen carefully because I'll never say it again. But I think it's all the organizations that distribute Narcan. People are still overdosing, they're just not dying as much. I mean, you've seen the national numbers, you've seen the state numbers. They're decreasing, but that doesn't mean that usage is decreasing. That doesn't mean that we have any less fentanyl in our community. That means that Narcan is being used.
A lot.
Yep.
So how do you think we can tackle this problem as a society? Do you ever just lay awake at night thinking about this? Like, How do we keep it from happening in the first place?
For me, it's all about the stigma. It's all about the educating our community. Pam has said this before. It's really hard for somebody to be successful in their recovery if they don't have a recovery community. And I think that it's possible for a very stigmatized community to become a recovery community, but it just takes a lot of education. It takes a lot of myth busting. It takes a lot of critical conversations and difficult conversations.
So my generation was super stigmatized. And when the Surgeon General under Obama said, stigma kills more people than any drug, I think he was right. And now what we're seeing is the next two generations down, at least they talk about it, at least they're willing to talk. My generation, we didn't talk about it. We hid it. We were all in the closet.
Yeah, and especially, your family would be embarrassed or,
Right.
the neighbors talked, whatever.
But keep this in mind. If you know 4 people, you know someone seeking recovery or with a substance use disorder. So it hits everywhere. It doesn't discriminate. It doesn't go to the poor sections of town. It's everywhere.
It is everywhere. And because it's not in the news anymore, do you feel like it's fading from people's consciousness that this stuff is still happening and that there's a need?
So, Danny, I think what we're going to see is come September, which is National Recovery Month, we'll see an onslaught of news articles about substance use disorder and recovery. And I think it'll come back up to the surface.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Brock? What do you think? Oh, did we lose him?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I agree with Pam. I think that come September, we're going to see it's going to be at the forefront of our minds again. And, to that point, I don't think it ever really goes away for those individuals that it affects, right? I think we're talking about the 50% of the population that just doesn't know, right? So, and that's where we go back to educating our community. How do we touch that 50%? How do we erase the stigma? How do we make people more recovery friendly? So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had a whole generation that it's my age group that their kids were raised by their grandparents,
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's where those kids really had that ability to have the conversation about it. But it seems like now it's a little different because we've kind of addressed the problem. We think we've addressed the problem. Families are back on track, but, it's still out there just as powerful as ever.
Well, keep this in mind. Everybody has this vision in their brain about who has a substance use disorder. And let me just tell you, wipe that vision out of your brain because that's not who it is. Everybody has a vision in their brain who overdoses. Wipe that out of your brain because that's only a small portion. I often think about not just grandparents who have had surgery and have been prescribed pain meds and forget how many they've taken. But on the other end of the spectrum, I think about honor students who go to a party and everybody has a pill. Wouldn't it be fun to try this? And it turns out it's just stamped fentanyl. Those were not addicts. Those were kids out partying. And when I was growing up, partying really couldn't kill you, but it can now. And it's so hard to get kids to understand that.
So do you think what is the earliest we should start talking to them about this?
When they're 5.
Think so?
I think very early. I don't think we can act like we can pretend like everybody lives in a bubble. I mean, 5 may be, I think there's different ways you talk about it at different ages. But I think that, and you can't scare kids. You can't use scare tactics because that just makes you want to do it more.
Some cases it does, but I don't know. Like, I remember seeing the drunk driving, and they used to show us the video of the car that was all smashed up, and that just scared the daylights out of me. I was like, I don't want to be that kid on prom night,
Right. Right. But I think you've got to be able to have real talk. And I think maybe that's a little difficult at certain ages.
Do you think our schools and our state are doing enough to educate the kids?
Yes. I think they're doing everything they know how to do. I'm not sure that that we really know how to do it, but I think everybody's doing the best of what they know to do.
So, what advice would you give parents out there when it comes to talking to their kids about this?
Well, it's just you just said it. Talk to your kids. Know who they're with. Try to have an idea of where they really are. But, the big secret is communication. And it's so simple. It's not the school's job. It's not the state's job. It's not the church's job. It's the parent job. But the parents need all the help they can get from all those organizations.
That's awesome. So if people want to get more information and get involved with Flagler Oars, or they want to take that first step into recovery, how do they get in touch with you guys?
386-569-4310. And if you want to talk to Brock, you call.
Yeah, so you can call directly our peer line, which will connect you right with a peer. And that phone number is 904-495-0625. Doesn't matter what county you're in. And then you can always check us out online or email us. Our website is flagleroars.org.
And we don't want to forget about the upcoming fundraiser, Second Chance Open charity fundraiser, September 20th at Moccasin Creek in Elkton. It's going to be an amazing day. Everything starts, it looks like 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And that all information's on your website as well. Is that right?
Hey,
Yep, we'll be putting the tournament on our website here later this week.
Awesome.
Brock, is that a rain or shine event, or how is that going to work?
So, yes, it's going to be rain or shine unless the rain is really bad. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. If that happens, what we'll do is we'll just reschedule for the following Saturday or the closest Saturday that's available.
We'll be out there doing the No Hurricane Rain Dance, so you should be good.
Right?
Thank you.
Well, we appreciate it.
And you guys just run over to our WNZF News Facebook page. You can take a look at the flyer there. And they've got a QR code if you want to become a sponsor. You can do that. And you can also help sponsor some folks who are in recovery who would like to participate as well. So I want to thank both of you guys for an extended show. I really appreciate you doing this.
Well, thank you for having us. We really appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, thank everybody who participates and gives to you guys and really tries to look out for you, because what you're doing is really good work.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brock. I appreciate you coming in.
Hey, thanks again. Appreciate your
Anytime.
time.
We want to thank WNZF News Radio, Flagler News Weekly, the Vigilante Philanthropists, Massage by Natalie and Company, and our Benjamin Moore Paint Store here in Palm Coast for sponsoring the show. And we'll catch you guys next week. See you later.